You know those nerve-wracking social situations where you're just stuck in your head? Or those situations where you feel like everyone's judging you, you're scared of looking weird, you're scared of not being normal, you think you're different in some way, and that you might be rejected, you might be embarrassed, and that you just can't do this. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you how to make it so that that never happens again. It's possible. I used to be in the same boat as you. I remember I went grocery shopping a few years back, and this was basically my experience grocery shopping. Grocery shop, fine, but then I'd go line up. Mate, the anxiety, the overthinking, what am I gonna say? Oh, he's gonna find me weird. Oh, I just have the physical manifestations of anxiety. My throat would go, my heart would start beating. I'd feel this like strong emotion in my stomach would contract. I remember all of these feelings, and it would just make just standing in line just fucking awful. And then I'd be in that tiny little interaction, and then it's like, I don't know what to say. I'm just gonna say nothing. How are you? Let's overthink how to say I'm good. How are you? And then I'd want to say something, and then couldn't say it. And then afterwards, I remember this wasn't just with the shopping example, but with social situations in general, I'd look back on the situation and I'd be like, hey, remember that one moment where you said something fucking stupid? They now hate you. You're a weirdo. You're a fucking loser. And just blowing up like one small, like I misspoke or something. I'd blow that out of proportions, and then I'd ruminate that for hours afterwards, and I'd feel like crap. And I'd jump to conclusions that, hey, they didn't like you, you're bad at socializing. And this is so bad because it just like perpetuates avoidance and more of the same. Like, what happens as a result of all this? I don't want to be in social situations. It makes me uncomfortable. It's fucking crap. Okay, now I don't go in more social situations. I get asked to go out. Scared. Don't want to. Let's avoid it. And then you genuinely, like, your social skills, they go down because you're not socializing. Then those thoughts come back even stronger that I don't want to socialize, and it just perpetuates more of the same. It's like a downward spiral that's just horrible and makes socializing so bad. And it's like a silent one that people just aren't aware of. So, now that you've listened to a bit of me yapping, do you think I know what I'm talking about? This used to be me. And now, I can literally go up to anyone I want to talk to, on the side of the street, stranger, girl, anyone I want to talk to, and I can just have a conversation. No internal resistance, no bullcrap going on, no anxiety, just have a conversation. It's okay. Or if I'm in a social situation and I want to express myself, I want to be spontaneous, I want to say a joke, this thing would make me laugh, and maybe make them laugh. I want to say it, and I can just say it. I'm not caring that, hey, this might make you look weird, hey, they're going to judge you, hey, they're going to think you're a fucking idiot if I say the thing. It doesn't even process, it doesn't feel the need to even come up anymore. So now let's get into it. Let's first explain what's going on in your experience, like actually, why you're experiencing these symptoms and what they're a symptom of that goes deeper, like the root cause, and then systemize it so that it becomes causal and repeatable so that you can actually make the change you want. First of all, let's have this idea in our heads. Most behavior is there to ensure your survival or is there to protect you from pain. You've experienced something in the past that's caused you pain. Your brain goes, okay, let's protect you, so don't act in this way. Most of your behavior, the social anxiety, manifests as a result of survival and protection. Keep that in mind. Let's detail how social anxiety manifests. First, social anxiety is actually occurring, it's about to occur. It can appear as a sort of thought. You project yourself into a social situation and anxiety comes up. Next is the actual physical manifestations of anxiety. So it's your stomach feeling contracted, your jaw's tight, your throat's not working, you can't speak loudly, your heart's racing, you're sweaty, all of these physical manifestations. That's the physical anxiety. Now, the state that you're in, the anxious state, it perpetuates congruent thoughts with that state. The state occurs, your body, your nervous system, and now thoughts appear congruent with that nervous system state. You feel anxious, now the anxious thoughts appear. They're going to judge me, I'm weird, this is crap, I can't do this. Anxious thoughts will arise from the anxious state, and it makes the anxious state even worse. It's like a big circle that feeds back on itself. It's like the anxiety, the physical anxiety, and then creates the thoughts, and then the thoughts make you even more anxious, and then it's just like a big shitty circle. Now, due to your current state, you're basically in a minor state of fight or flight at this point, the thoughts and the anxiety reinforcing each other. Now, the next point, due to the current state of things, your thoughts and your anxiety, your performance in social situations it's basically guaranteed to be worse. You're going to get more evidence that, hey, maybe I'm crap at socializing. You're going to have experiences where, think about this. Who is going to perform better and get better evidence that they're better at socializing? Someone who's anxious and the thoughts of crap and avoidance and all that versus someone who just I want to make friends. Obviously, the person who's physically in a fucking minor state of fight or flight is going to have it worse, and they're going to perform worse. As a result of performing worse, they're going to have and conclude things about themselves. I'm bad at socializing. I just can't do this. They're going to want to, as a result of that, avoid it. Avoidance is now a thing. Because we want to avoid feeling like this. We want to avoid being bad. And what does avoiding things do? It makes everything worse. The nervous system state, the thoughts, and your social skills. All of this makes it worse, which basically causes prediction-type beliefs about future social situations. You predict that future scenarios are going to go poorly. You have all this evidence behind you. It's just going to go shit. I'm crap at socializing. I'm anxious in this situation. I can't handle anxiety. All of this crap. You project it onto the future and more avoidance. You think that the outcome is basically guaranteed and that socializing is pointless because this is just who you are. Anxiety is you. At this point, you believe that. Now, new behaviors happen. You cancel last second. You don't try new things. You don't put yourself in new environments. You don't grow. You stagnate. You regress. And avoidance makes the socializing harder because you fucking avoided it. So your social skills are literally worse off. I already said that, but do you get it? It's not a good loop. And all of this reinforces stuff that you think is you. I'm a shy person. I'm an anxious person. I can't do this. I don't go out. I'm introverted. All of these things just gets perpetuated, which all of these things, the anxious state, the avoidance, the thoughts, the lack of going into new situations, all of this perpetuates more of the same, more anxiety, more. And then that's how this becomes such a bad and silent problem. Okay, now that you understand what's really going on and how this entire loop can just feed back on itself and make your social anxiety worse, we need to interject and basically stop parts of this so that it stops fucking perpetuating more of the same. And the good thing is, you can break 1 or 2 points of the loop and social anxiety just falls away. Think of it like a house of cards and you take out a card from the bottom. It just falls down. That's something that's good with social anxiety, is if you take out part of it, you can fix it. For example, at the very start of this loop, what is it? It's the physical anxiety. Okay, what can we do? Before we get into social situations, let's manage that. Let's do some breath work. Let's become more present in our body. Let's meditate, breathwork, yoga, practices that make anxiety less effective. Now you're in the social situation, the anxiety is less powerful, maybe you're even normal, and the thoughts don't take over as much. They're not as strong. Then you get in the actual social situation. You're not as anxious. You perform a bit better. Then, since you performed a bit better, you have better evidence. I can actually do this. Maybe I can. That didn't go so poorly. You need evidence that you can actually survive social situations. And then you think, oh, maybe that went okay. Let's just try it again. And then you go back. Anxiety is even less so. The same thing. And then instead of spiraling downwards, you can spiral upwards. Or if the reason you get anxious in the first place is because you're scared of rejection, you deep down know that you're really scared of rejection, and anxiety is just a physical manifestation of that fear. Okay, let's analyze. Let's go deeper. Let's look at that fear of rejection. Is it true? What's going on there? Why am I so scared? Can I heal that part of myself? Can I, maybe in situations where I do get rejected, am I still okay? Oh, maybe I am. Without this underlying fear of rejection, what happens? Let's go back to that loop again. Now, the anxiety doesn't generate in the first place because there's no reason to be anxious, because you're not fighting for your life. You're not scared of rejection. The cause of anxiety is that fear of rejection. Now the anxiety doesn't start. The thoughts don't generate. You don't perform worse. You don't avoid. You don't get worse evidence. You claim you can actually do this. Oh my God, I don't have social anxiety. You see? You see now? Now the main thing you have to do in order to make this all work is analyze for yourself. What is your current bottleneck? What is going on for you? The number one practice that I can give you is to become curious, inquisitive, and ask why. You need to figure out why you're getting anxious, why you fear rejection, why you fear being seen as weak or anxious or needy. All of these physical manifestations that happen when you have social anxiety, figure out why. Why does this happen? Then, as you figure out why, you reframe the belief, you heal, you let go of what's going on. Because likely, again, it all stems from some sort of root thing, like that fear of rejection. You're scared that if I get rejected, maybe I lose all value as a human being. So I've assigned other people's rejection to having no value as a human being. Well, no fucking wonder it makes me anxious, because I lose all value as a person if they reject me. Well, that makes no fucking sense. These are learned behaviors from your past and learned beliefs, and by healing them, understanding them, that's how you can fix social anxiety and become socially free. So more specifically with how to ask why, you want to find something that triggers you, find that social anxiety, and ask why. What is going on? What is being protected? Ask these questions and ask why again, until you get to the bottom layer. And then, at that point, you'll be very emotional. You'll feel all these sensations coming up. And now, this is the important part. You have such strong bodily chemistry going on right now. Your stomach will be contracted. All of the manifestations of anxiety will be there. I want you to focus your awareness on those sensations. Without the story, without the thoughts, just focus on the sensations. How does my stomach feel? Close your eyes. How does my stomach feel? How does my heart feel? How does my chest feel? How's my throat? My jaw? It physically manifests. Focus on the sensations without the story. And just sit with it. Let it pass. A few minutes by, what'll happen? the emotional strength will go boop, 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 until it doesn't trigger you anymore. And then at that point, you can reframe and question the belief with that fear of rejection. If I'm rejected by other people, I lose all value as a human being. That is the belief and statement that your subconscious is running on. Okay? Is that true? Why do I believe that? What caused me to believe this? Is there situations where it's not true? It's not true. Why would someone's value be determined by a stranger's rejection? That's such a stupid inherent rule to be running on. The fuck? See how questioning that belief? And then it stirs a bit of emotion in you. It's like, oh, that's stupid. I can't believe my subconscious was running on that. A bit of frustration. It's good. Because you're now learning this belief, it's stupid. And now it's triggered to your body that it's stupid. That's frustration. And then that same situation that triggered you in the first place, a few days later, get some healthy sleep, get some healthy dieting. A few days later, that same social situation, that same thing that triggered you, it's not going to trigger you anymore. Back to the loop of social anxiety, anxious thoughts, the avoidant behavior, the crap performance, the conclusions we make about ourselves, which reinforce all of the same. The anxiety doesn't generate anymore. I don't have social anxiety. I can be confident. Let's go! Now, that is the video. I appreciate you watching. I want you to like and subscribe. Helps me out a lot. And comment down below your experiences with this. I'd be very interested in reading it. So, yeah, appreciate you watching. Take care, and goodbye for now.